So today we're going to talk about perimeter. Perimeter is simply the measure around a shape. If I started with the board here, it would just be how far it is in inches measurement. So if I took a ruler and I started measuring, how many inches around? So if we talk about some more standard shapes, we start with like a square. Again, 4 sides, it's a polygon, all right angles, and the sides are the same. And again, I want to find the perimeter, I pick a starting point. I have a 6-inch side, a 6-inch side, a 6-inch side, a 6-inch side. Now back to the point, all the way around. In fact, perimeter, the P-E-R-I, stands for around in Greek. But in this case, we just have to add up. There are 4 sides, so we have 4 measurements. The perimeter is 24 inches. One of my favorite right scaling triangles here, a 3, 4, 5. Again, it doesn't matter where I start or which way I go around, but if I go around 3, 4, 5, 3 plus 4 plus 5, you add those numbers, you get a perimeter, in this case, of 12 feet. Those are simpler shapes. What about a composite shape? Here we have a shape that has multiple sides. In fact, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sides. What if I wanted to find the perimeter around this shape? Again, I always start the same way. I pick a starting point. 7 centimeters, 12 centimeters, 4 centimeters. Unknown, 2 centimeters. Unknown, unknown, unknown. So we have some work to do here. If I put some labels here, A, B, and C for the 3 horizontal lines, I'll just call this little d. And again, I can write the perimeter initially as 7 plus 12 plus 4 plus A plus 2 plus B plus D plus C. But we have to calculate or figure out these variables. So, when I look at these, again, I'll start with the horizontals. I have C, and I can see it right here. I have B, and I have A. If I drop those to the bottom, A, B, and C. And what you have to catch about A, B, and C is the sum of these has to be the same as 12. So if I look at A, B, and C, I can pull those out and rewrite my problem. And instead of, I'll write 12 now for A, B, and C, I still have the 2, and I still have the D. Now this gets a little harder to calculate. So if I look here, I have to catch that this is 4 on the vertical, this is 2. Well, that means that this is 2 centimeters. And since it's a square shape, that is 2 centimeters. And again, if this is 2, and this is D, and this is 7, you have to catch that 2 plus D and 7 are the same. Or D has to be 5. So if I put that in there, all dimensions in centimeters, 19, 23, 25, 35, 40, 42 centimeters. And again, this takes time and you have to look for the horizontals. Again, this is a review, but again, these are more complicated problems. It changes when it's not a polygon. Concave or convex doesn't matter. But when you have a circle, the perimeter of a circle is the distance around the outside, and that is called circumference. The formula for that is C equals pi times diameter. Sometimes people learn it as 2 pi or r, realizing 2r is the same as the diameter. So if I have an example, and I have a circle with a 4-inch radius, which means the other side is also 4, giving you a diameter of 8 inches, you just have to plug in now. Replace the d variable in the equation. Circumference equals pi, diameter is 8 inches. 8 times pi is 8 pi inches. In my classroom, we can leave it this way. If you needed a decimal equivalent, you would have to take 8 times 3.14. And again, you can use this formula in conjunction with other composite shapes. Here I have a pretty standard composite shape, a half circle on top of a rectangle. Again, I pick a start point, I start going around. Well, we got 4 inches, And if this is 3 here, we have to realize that the radius is 3 here and 3 there. 3 plus 3 make 6. So I have 4, 6, 4, and then I call this, to start with, the arc of the circle. And I've come all the way around. 4, 6, 4, arc. Now, how am I going to figure out the arc? You have to realize it's a half circle. But if I start with a full circle of 3 inches, that's my circumference pi d. That's where the formula is. If I know it's 3 on the other side, I know 3 and 3 make 6. So if I put that in, I get 6 pi inches. Again, put 6 in for d. But I don't have a full circle. I simply have half. So I will divide that circumference by 2 and call it 3 pi, which is my arc. 4 and 6 is 10 plus 4. I get 14 plus 3 pi inches. And again, if you need a decimal, you'd have to multiply first. You cannot write this as 17 pi. The big thing to remember is perimeter is the distance around. Pick a starting point and calculate it out.